Hello everyone! Hello. In this video, we'll be going over what if every city-state of Greece became independent. Now, I know this is a fictional scenario that would probably never happen, but it's just a what if. So, in let's start off with cat's got my tongue. Cornice. Cornice is just going to expand upon the coast. Well, above this. Now, you might be asking, hey, I don't think Sparta and Athens. Blue is Athens and red is Sparta. Yellow is Megara and purple is Cornice. Now, you might be thinking, hey, I don't think they own these lands. Now, I'm just excluding Italy because Rome, basically. But let's begin. Let's begin even more. Well, sorry. So, they'll go down the coast, or let's begin with Athens. Athens is going to take care of all of Cyprus, and as basically conquer the whole island. Now, their goals are basically to reach the Caspian Sea. But now they go into Ukraine and go along the coast even more. And their conquest over there is going to be on a pause. Now, there was a little deal going on in Sparta between Cornice and Sparta, well, basically. And Sparta just buys some land. And Cornice is peaceful with this. Cornice is just going to expand next to Megara. Now, I don't think these would be compatible to next each other because of their beliefs, but you get it. Athens is going to start taking over more of other Europe. Well, Northern Europe. And Sparta is going to go down the coast and they have established a very, very decent colony. And they're probably going to go down into go more down into the Eastern Red Sea. And they conquered the whole Eastern Red Sea. They have their eyes set on Arabia, so they're going to conquer the whole Sinai, I'm pretty sure that's how you say it, peninsula, and go down into Arabia and conquer essentially all of the Red Sea. Now you might think I'm playing favorites because of Sparta, and you might be a little correct, but a little not, because I really do like Sparta. But it's Athens' turn, and Athens is going to expand into Asia Minor. Well, first they're going to conquer more coast, because they like coast, I think. So they're going to conquer more coast. Name what sea this is. I want to test you guys. So they eventually meet up with the other expedition and conquer essentially all of that lake or sea. They have their goals on the Caspian Sea, but they'll rest for now. Now it's Cornice's turn. Cornice is probably go into more of Northern Europe. Athens doesn't do anything with its Italy colony, so they don't pay much attention to the expanding. Oh no, I made a mistake. Don't worry, I got it. So they're gonna conquer, Megara is going to head even more into Northern Europe. until they're satisfied. But right now, they have their eyes on some land. So, as you can see, they're just going to conquer basically all of the Balkans. Well, not all of it, but just some lands. And they eventually encircle all of this land. Now, you might think, oh, they're going to be so fast conquering all of this. Well, this takes about 5 years maximum. Also, tell me what time period I should put this in, like medieval or like whatever. Sorry. Cat's got my tongue again. So, they're gonna conquer some lands. Now, it is Sparta's turn. And what they do is they go into what peninsula is this. I want to quiz you guys even more, because it's good to learn. They're gonna conquer more coast and go into what is now, what is now Portugal. And they do it. They haven't conquered some lands, but they will. Sardinia was conquered a little earlier because Sparta felt like it, basically. What Sparta's going to do here is they're going to expand further and more on the African coast. Now, you might think Sparta is really huge, but Athens is going to take this as competition or threat. So they're going to probably take over all of Turkey. And you might think this is slow, but actually, it isn't. It's actually very fast. Probably takes around a month. I know, right? Very fast. And they're basically going to go down to the coast and basically meet up with Sparta. Well, the Spartan colony. Ooh. And Sparta's going to see this, and they're going to probably take some land before greedy Athens takes up all of it. And this is a pretty good map. It's kind of complicated right now. But what Athens is going to do now is going down to Mesopotamia and conquering basically the beginning of the Persian Gulf. I almost said Gulf. Is that a word? I want to see if it's a word. So they're going to take all of basically what is today Iraq and other countries, and they're going to connect it. Now you might think, oh yeah, this gotta take a while. And you are correct. It takes a pretty long while for them to actually conquer all of the land and put settlements in it. So they're just going to conquer it, right? Well, conquer it slow. And they meet up with, they encircle more and more. Like this one and this one. Now they fully conquer Mesopotamia. And Sparta actually has a challenge. Because Sparta just thought it was a puny, Athens was puny. And probably going to collapse. But Sparta was wrong. And it actually hasn't collapsed yet. So, what Athens is going to do is conquer this Oman land. What is today Oman. And other lands. Well, other Arabian lands. And they conquer all of this and this land. Sorry. So you might see, whoa, Athens has gotten way bigger than their last turn. And they reached their goals of reaching the Caspian Sea. Now, this video isn't all about Athens. It is now the turn of Corinth. Cornus is going to go even more up into Northern Europe, and they do a pretty good job. They would probably have collapsed by now in real life, but they haven't yet. And they have a successful government. Also, I forgot what government Cornus was. If you could comment what government Cornus was, it would be very appreciated. And basically, they're just gonna Northern Europe without a hassle. But there might be some protest about this expanding. Now, it is now Magar's turn. And what Magar is going to do is conquer, well, not all of the coast. Well, not any coast at all. But they're just going to circle around Athens to stop Athens from spreading there. Athens sees this as a threat, but can't do anything, because I'm pretty sure I would like to include the Delian League, but maybe not. Athens does but this is just a one episode thing. So, just comment. Because, well, I'm not forcing you to comment. I'm just saying, it's not a series, it's just one episode. Like a what if. So, Greece is just going to conquer. Well, not Greece. But, Magar is just going to take some land for itself before they take a break. They always take breaks before conquering more land. So, you can see that, hey, this is a pretty successful. Well, that's the thing. This colony declares independence. Cornus is really mad, but they can't do anything because this new nation is part of the Delian League. And these new members are pretty good. I think I should change that color. Never mind. So they're just going to expand further and furthermore, reaching up with Magar. Now, these lands are now peace deal. Well, this is going to be a peace deal upon these empty lands. So let me get this map done, and I'll talk to you about what the peace deal looks like. Well, peace deal of the lands look like. Now, okay. So, if you see right here, these are what the peace deal lands look like. Pretty fair. Magar gets some. The Corinth gets some, and the new city gets one. Now, I haven't talked about Sparta, but I have been using them for a little while, so I might give some more land for Magar before I leave, or before I switch to Sparta. Sparta's going to go even more on the African Mediterranean coast. The Delian League can't do anything about this. Also, this is if the Peloponnesian War never happened also. So, Sparta is just going to conquer more coast. Now, they might meet up here on what peninsula is this? Comment if you know. You can comment if you want any ideas to give me. So, is that land connected? Weird. So they're just going to conquer more coast, and more after coast, they finally end their conquering of coasting. Well, they still got this part, and they achieved that. Now, you might think, whoa, Sparta is a little overpowered. But Athens, Megara, and Corinth are overpowered as well. Now, you might think, hey, is this a series, and as I said later on, or earlier in the video, no, it is not a series. It is just a one episode deal. Like a what if. Also, expect, a what if Rome never collapsed episode, probably soon. But that's in the future. But right now, I'm just going to, Sparta is just going to encircle all of Spain and some parts of Portugal that they didn't conquer. Oh, and so they're just going to march through what is now Israel, or what is today Israel and Palestine. Now Magog is going to have its chance to expand. So after the words of the Caspian Sea, after hearing about the Caspian Sea, Magog takes chances and just sails out. And once they expand and they find another sea that they think looks like the Caspian Sea, but it really isn't. Also, if you can name this sea, comment. I'm not forcing you to, though. So, now it's Corneth's turn. Corneth doesn't get any, light. So, they're just going to go into Northern Europe. And they reach what is today Germany. Well, would you say that's Germany? Yeah. Also, why is it named... Oh, Deutschland, or Deutschland. That's why they have the D. Oh, sorry about that, guys. And... Oh, oof. And you could see that they successfully conquered German lands. Now, the new nation won't get anything at all, because I think they are just going to maintain their old lands. But now it's back to Athens. Athens is going to achieve its goal by conquering more coastal, or more coast of the Caspian Sea. So I blacked out there just for a minute, because I was like, oh, should I leave this land or should I just let it go? So they don't fully take over the Caspian Sea, but they do take portions of it. Now, like all of you been waiting for, the Grand War of... Oh, wait. And after deal, Athens buys this. Now, after all you've been waiting for, the Greek State War. Athens is going to start by trying and stealing some more coastline like they always do. Sparta allying with Corinth. This nation, just don't ignore it, because it's just going to be peaceful. Sparta is going to ally with Corinth and Megara, and is going to ally... Well, how about we switch it? Sparta is going to ally with Megara, and Corinth is going to ally with Athens. Athens is going to go down and conquer more coastline of what is today Palestine and Israel. I don't like talking about that. And they're gonna conquer all of it, and conquer all the Sinai Peninsula. Now, Corinth being Corinth is going to attack Megara, and trying to get some coast. Now, this is a large encirclement that what Corinth is trying to do. So they decide to go down on the coast. Well, decide to split up the encirclement like this, so they could they could basically make it into smaller pieces. And they do, as you can see right here. So they're gonna conquer and make it into smaller pieces. Cornet, Megara is like, whoa, this is very, very bad. So after some battling it out, Megara tries to reform its old lands and starts taking basically bits of what is or of Corinth. And this goes actually successfully. And Athens and Megara do a very huge encirclement where basically all of this is now encircled. And Sparta, being Sparta, tries to do a 300 move. They bring their greatest generals against Corinth and, well, not Corinth, but Athens and Corinth. Well, yeah, Corinth. Oh no, just Athens. Yeah. So they're gonna attack basically all of this. And Athens is going to be like, oh no. Because the strength of Sparta is very... And this is the end of the war. Because they know if they spend more materials and more strength, they're gonna later collapse. So they meet in basically the border of Athens and Sparta. And they make a plan. Now, this is the end of the video. I would like to see all of you comment about those guessing videos, or those guessing questions, those geo questions. And I'll see you later.